Martin Short, good afternoon.
Hello, Dennis. How are you?
Well, I'm Darren because Dennis has lost his voice.
Oh, for God's sake. Yes, that's right.
That's right.
So you're not Dennis?
No,
No.
no, I'm not.
You know, Darren, you are joining me tonight.
Now, I thought this was going to be a secret, but
No.
It's your gig, man. You know what I'm saying? You know where I'm coming from?
Darren is going to be Jiminy Glick's guest
On stage.
at the Princess Theatre this evening at 8 p.m.
You know, I've been to the Princess Theatre.
You have?
I've been to the front stalls watching shows, but I've never been on stage.
You've never been on stage?
This is a magnificent theatre. You would have seen it because you would have rehearsed there, have you?
No. I'm going to rehearse. After this, we're going to go and rehearse.
It is the most beautiful theatre, almost condemned at one stage, and then financed by a privateer who got it up and running, the most beautiful theatre ever.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, they love to do that, don't they? They love to tear down. Do you know the Grand Central Station in New York was going to be torn down? And have you ever been to Grand Central Station?
I was amazed at its beauty when I was in New York last time.
It is staggering. And you know who saved it? Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis.
Yeah?
She had never given an interview since leaving the White House.
Yeah.
And she saved all that stuff up, and she called her press conference, and they just couldn't say no to Jackie.
How about that?
Yeah.
And that is a legacy that will live on and on.
Absolutely.
I read this. Now this has got me going. I'm doing a bit of stuff on you. I read back to 1974, Toronto, one of my favourite live shows ever. You started it off for you, Godspell.
Yes, we were in the first national company
with some names too.
Yes, well, it was one of those weird things where it was the auditions themselves were out of the movies, with 1,000 young kids hoping, and I was still in university. I thought maybe I would take a year off school and try acting. And then it whittled down to 10 people, and we all got it. And it was, Gilda Radner and Eugene Levy, and Paul Schaefer was a pianist.
And you all sort of stuck together in a way, didn't
you?
Yeah, later
Victor
on?
Garber, absolutely.
What I couldn't find out, which part did you play? You weren't Jesus, were you?
No, I was Jeffrey the Imp, if you can imagine.
What did he sing? What were the songs that Jeffrey belted out?
We beseech thee, hear us. I was impish.
You didn't do All for the Best.
No.
That duo song that they do in Godspell?
Yeah. That was Jesus and Judas.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Good show, though, isn't it? Would it stand the test of time if you put it on now?
It's going to open again November 7th in Broadway.
Oh, how about that? That's what we're talking about. And from there, from Toronto and Godspell, you sort of into the Saturday night era.
Yes, SCTV and Saturday Night Live and movies. And
do you reckon comedy, are you born funny or are you just a person that has to work on being funny?
No, I think you're born funny.
So do I.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I think you can refine it and improve it, but you sometimes see those, where the dramatic actor, the new Willem Dafoe comedy. It just doesn't
that's right.
quite work.
Doesn't work at all.
No.
There's a lot of Hollywood movies that are around, and there's serious actors, and they play sort of parts that aren't lead roles. And you get they become that guy that appeared as that in that movie, and you never know his name, but they get around a bit in the movies like that. But it's different with comedy. Like when you were playing the Magnificent Franck, you knew that it was you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I think that listen, whenever you become well known, it in a way gets in a way of anonymity. The actor William Hurt went through a phase until then he decided to do some interviews. But for a long while, he did not do any interviews because he was afraid that if they knew about him, therefore they'd always say, "Oh, there's William Hurt," as opposed to it's like at a certain point, no one was saying, "Oh, who's that girl in the movie?" It was Elizabeth Taylor in a movie.
Yeah. And do you think funny people in comics like to show off?
I think that's the perception. I think well, some of them do, but I mean, a lot of them are the opposite. A lot of them are more reserved than you would think.
The tortured comics.
Well, I'm the comic who cries on the inside, laughs on the inside and on the outside. I don't come from the angst. I also think that's a bit of a cliche. It's I have a great gimmick. He's a clown, but he's sad.
That's right.
Let's go to lunch. You've got your answer.
You happy to take calls?
I'd love to.
96900 693. Martin Short is here. 96900 693. Now, this tour, you're here at Melbourne for tonight. And
I'm just doing Melbourne tonight. And then I'm in Sydney tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I'm off.
Wow.
I'm at the Opera House tomorrow.
And so the total time that you're in Australia?
I arrived on Tuesday. We'll leave Sunday.
That's a pretty quick tour.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's not even a
That's
tour.
ridiculous.
It's suicidal.
That's right.
I don't know
where
what
do
I'm
you,
thinking.
where do you go to after here?
I am starting a television hour special that I wrote. We're going to shoot it in Toronto, for the United States, and I'll start shooting on Tuesday. So that's the other reason I got to keep moving.
Do you like staying busy, or do you like to have a break? What's your sort of work regime? Because I do weekends here normally, and
I think
a few days off.
I like it. It seems to come in spurts. I like to take the summers off. I have a great home 3 hours north of Toronto on the lakes and fishing and boats and
bit of the outdoor life.
so my idea of heaven is to just not do anything for a couple of months, and then you jam it up.
Do you sort of subconsciously work on ideas, and while you're sort of charging up the batteries in that 2 months off, think
I
of
think
characters
what
and
happens
stuff?
is that you don't even know you're working on ideas. I mean, you think, hey, I'm just fishing, I'm sailing. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
But something's even if your brain is relaxing. You know how at the end of the day, if you're tired and you think, oh God, everything, that's terrible. And then you go to sleep and you rest, and suddenly you're, hey.
Feeling good again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that we do have to I think we're working even if we're not.
And you know how you do a lot of voices and characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not comparing myself with you by any means. But
I wish you would.
No, but I'm saying I've worked on a. My question is, do you know that you can do a voice? Do you hear someone and you don't think, I'd like to do that voice, I'll go away and work on it? Do you all of a sudden think, here's something or someone and think, I can do that, and then you do it?
I don't really. To me, it's just like it's a job, and you put the awning down at the beginning of the day, and you lift it up at the end of the day, and if you really worked hard, you sleep a little better. But I've done many voice movies, and the first day, I'm doing this film with Tim Burton, Frankenweenie.
Yeah.
And it's 3 different characters that I'll play in the movie, animated movie. And the first day you just kind of experiment. So you don't walk in with any preconceived notion of what your voice you could do. You say, if they make him German, maybe, or make him French, or we make him Southern, and you do all these different pitches and highs, and finally someone like Tim Burton will say, oh, I like that guy, but maybe with a dash of this.
Yes.
And I'll say, okay, good, why don't you put together all the pieces that you like, and then send me the thing, and I'll say, and I'll start building. So it's just a process.
Yeah,
it's like
right.
developing a house.
You workshop it.